Well, friends, Donald Trump announces to his supporters that he has a new enemy, and the threats start pouring in. How many times are we going to watch this movie, watch this pattern repeat itself before we finally act to put a stop to it? Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, Donald Trump, who, if you'll recall, is on pretrial release in not one, not two, but in 4 felony cases, 4 felony prosecutions, both state and federal. Donald Trump tells his supporters that he now has a new enemy, and the threats start pouring in. This time, the threats are directed at Maine's Secretary of State, Shenna Bellows. Why? Because Secretary of State Bellows acted in accordance with Maine's election laws because she upheld her oath of office and she disqualified Donald Trump from the Maine ballot. So, of course, here is what Donald Trump and his attack dog spokesperson began saying about Secretary of State Bellows. MAGA meltdown as Trump sicks Truth Social fans on Maine Secretary of State who booted him off ballot. Trump posts Secretary of State Shenna Bellows' website after she ruled he is ineligible under the 14th Amendment. Trump has yet to comment on the removal, but took to Truth Social Thursday night to direct his followers to Bellows' official website. But you know what? Trump's spokesperson already attacked Secretary of State Bellows. Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung said in a statement after the decision, "We will quickly file a legal objection in state court to prevent this atrocious decision in Maine from taking effect." And he, Stephen Chung, also called Bellows, a former ACLU attorney, a virulent leftist, and a hyper-partisan Biden-supporting Democrat who has decided to interfere in the presidential election on behalf of crooked Joe Biden. So, of course, Donald Trump's supporters knew exactly what to do. Maine Secretary of State says she was threatened for ejecting Trump from ballot. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows said in an interview that she has faced threats since issuing her decision to remove Donald Trump from the state's primary ballot on Thursday. Quote, "We have received threatening communications. Those are unacceptable," Bellows told CNN's Caitlin Collins on Friday. "I certainly worry about the safety of people I love, people around me, and people who are charged with protecting me and working alongside me. That being said, we're a nation of laws, and that's what's really important. I've been laser focused on that obligation to uphold the Constitution." And Secretary of State Bellows' home was swatted. Maine Secretary of State targeted with swatting call after ruling Trump ineligible for ballot. The incident happened just a day after Shenna Bellows, a Democrat, ruled former President Donald Trump is constitutionally ineligible to appear on the state's primary ballot next year. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows was the target of a swatting call on Friday night, state police said in a statement. The incident happened just a day after Bellows, a Democrat, ruled former President Donald Trump is constitutionally ineligible to appear on the state's primary ballot next year. State police said they received a call at about 8:15 p.m. from a man who said he had broken into Bellows' home. When officers arrived, they found no one at the house, and they checked the exterior of the property as well as the interior at the request of Bellows, who was not home at the time. The state police said they found nothing suspicious inside the home, and the caller has not been identified. They added that the incident remains under investigation and they're working with law enforcement partners to provide special attention to any and all appropriate locations. Swatting is a false report of a crime or emergency that is intended to draw a police presence to a location. But you know, friends, there actually is a way to stop this movie from running on an endless loop. That endless loop involving someone acting in accordance with the law, in accordance with their oath of office, in accordance with their sworn obligation, someone acting to hold Donald Trump accountable for his misconduct, for his crimes, and Donald Trump then immediately posting something that is clearly designed to send the signal to his supporters, get him, get him. The law provides that when somebody is on pretrial release in a felony case, Trump is on release in 4 felony cases, if he poses a danger to the community or any person in the community, he is to be detained pending trial. The law has a way to stop this same old movie from running. And frankly, if he were detained pending trial, it would have the fringe benefit of taking away his megaphone, thereby making it far more difficult for him to continue to endanger the lives of his perceived enemies. But let's be clear, his perceived enemies are basically anybody and everybody who is involved in the endeavor of holding Donald Trump accountable for his crimes, including dozens and dozens and dozens of Republican witnesses who are expected to testify at the Trump trials. So friends, we need to keep calling on the institutions of government and the good men and women who populate them to stop forcing our nation to watch this movie on an endless loop. Someone tries to hold Donald Trump accountable in accordance with the law, and that person's life instantly is endangered by Trump. The threats pour in. Police are sent to their homes via false reports. Put a stop to it. Apply the law of pretrial detention as it was intended to be applied, as it is applied every day to hundreds, probably thousands of people in jurisdictions all across America every day, ordered into pretrial detention when they pose a danger to the community or any person in the community. Apply that law fairly, even-handedly to Donald Trump. Detain Donald Trump.